Hello, students. In the last lecture, under concept of diseases, we had a discussion on host factor and environmental factor, which interacts with disease agent and it leads to the occurrence of disease. Now we are moving to the next part of this topic, that is prevention of diseases. Now, the word prevention includes health promotion, health preservation, and minimization of suffering and distress. See, prevention, it only doesn't mean that you prevent something from happening. Even if one is promoting health, say for example, one is regularly doing exercise, one is taking vaccines at proper time. Now, though these are preventive measures, but they are also for health promotion. And once the health is promoted, that means when you are on the positive side of health, you are following healthy lifestyle. Definitely, you are doing one sort of prevention or keeping yourself away from getting diseases. Right? Why we do exercise? We do exercise to promote our health. What will happen if we don't do exercise? Someday we may have some diseases or disorder only because we are not taking regular exercises, or when because we are not doing regular exercise. Sorry, we are not doing regular exercise. So it's a one sort of thing which will promote the health and keep the disease away or prevent the diseases. Then another word is health preservation. That means if your health is okay or is in good condition or is in optimum condition, that then whatever you do to keep in that position or better position, that is called as health preservation, to preserve your health. And again, minimizing suffering and distress. That means even if something is going to happen, it should cause minimum to minimum damage to you. That is also one sort of preventing, because you are preventing by taking measures the further or the drastic damage which will occur. So prevention include all these three things: health promotion, health preservation, and minimization of sufferings. We do number of things for prevention. See, just simple examples I can quote. Even if we keep our house clean, we keep our surrounding clean, we take regular bath, right? And then we brush up our teeth regularly, we keep all the eatables closed all the time, we open the container only when we want to take out something from that and want to eat. So why we do all these things? Because to prevent, it is one sort of prevention, so that nothing should happen to us. So number of things we do knowingly or unknowingly to prevent ourselves from getting diseases. Now all the measures which we do for prevention of diseases, that can be done at various levels, or that can be divided into four types. One we call primordial prevention, second primary prevention, third secondary prevention, fourth tertiary prevention. Now why this classification is there? Because by this classification you will know which particular preventive measure falls under which particular class, because every class is different from another, in the sense that some preventive measures are taken at very early stages, some preventive measures are taken when we are exposed to getting diseases, some preventive measures are taken when we are suffering from diseases, and some preventive measures are taken when we are in the latter stage of diseases. That's why we have divided all the preventive measures which generally are followed. Now the main objective of this prevention is to interfere with disease process. That means to avoid happening of disease, or even if it is in progress, we have to stop at some level, or at the very earliest level, earliest possible level. Now first one is primordial prevention. Now primordial prevention means prevention well in advance. That is, whatever we do to prevent long before occurrence of any disease. Now one example I want to quote here. See, the details about AIDS are kept in school syllabus. In some higher classes, maybe 8, 9, 10, then in 11, 12th, and even here also you will come across the word AIDS, its causative factors, its symptoms, how we can prevent it, and how we can keep ourselves away from such drastic diseases. Now why all these things are kept in your syllabus? Because so that when we are exposed to such an environment, or when we, or in simple words we can say, so that we can keep ourselves away from all those factors because of which we one can get AIDS. Okay, so this is one of the example of prevention well in advance. Because in school days, normally there is no question of the student getting involved in those factors which are responsible for occurrence of AIDS. It may be shaving, it may be through multiple sexual intercourse. So one is not exposed to these factors in school days, but the objective behind keeping in syllabus is that one must have the knowledge of the causative factors, so that in future, throughout the life, he will stay himself away from those factors, so that he should not get that particular disease. So this is one sort of measure which is there well in advance, so that one should not get the disease. So all such measures will fall under primordial prevention. Now second is primary prevention. It is the prevention done before the onset of disease, with a view to eliminate the possibility of acquiring the disease. Now the best example for this primary prevention is this COVID pandemic which we are suffering at present. Even now, using face mask, washing your hands with soap many times in a day, keeping safe distance. What is this? This is nothing but a primary prevention, because everyone is exposed to the risk of getting the COVID, getting the disease. So we, by using mask, by washing hands, by keeping safer distance, we eliminate the possibility of acquiring the disease, because the disease is prevailing in our surrounding. So all the measures which you take during this period, that particular phase is called as primary prevention. Now secondary prevention, it includes the actions which are taken to halt the progress of disease at its early stage, to prevent further complications. Now what do you mean by secondary prevention? That whatever is done when the disease is in very early stage. Now say for example, when we take the example of simply malaria, first time when we come to know malaria is when the symptoms of malaria appears. That means fever, shivering, or you can say tertian or quatern fever, then chills, then profuse sweating. These symptoms, when they come, what we do? We normally visit the doctor for early diagnosis and early treatment so that further damage can be prevented. Now, this level of prevention is called as secondary prevention. So, early diagnosis and early treatment is one example of secondary prevention. Now, tertiary prevention. The preventive measure which are taken at the advanced stage of disease is known as tertiary prevention. Now, tertiary prevention means whatever you do when the disease has progressed in the advanced stage, then to save the life or to save anything or to halt the further damage or further progress of disease, whatever is done, that level is in advanced stage of disease is called as tertiary prevention. Say for example, a person suffering from cancer, in advanced stage of cancer, the tumor is removed by surgery, the radiations are done. What is this? This is to prevent the further damage to him, or to prevent the further progress of the disease, or to save the life of an individual. Many surgeries are done in advanced stage. Or say for example, when because of accident the bones are broken into many fragments, now the rod is what you can say implanted, or the plates and screws are implanted. Why this is done? This is done to prevent the further damage, to avoid the that means to bring that particular leg or hand to the maximum possible level of functionality. So such level of prevention is called as tertiary prevention.